Modern roads, powerful vehicles, and a non-stop flow that never pauses for a second. But even here, it takes just one moment for everything to change. In this episode, you'll see the most intense and unexpected situations on the road. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new and interesting episodes. There's nothing more dangerous than a multi-ton truck on the road whose driver has lost control. High speed and a sudden obstacle, one of the most dangerous combinations on the road.
Damn.
An icy section of road and a multi-ton truck loses traction, skidding out. Even if you do everything right, the road can still surprise you. Not every surprise can be predicted or avoided. An ordinary trip, normal speed, and a situation the driver can't influence. Not all road incidents are caused by driver mistakes. Sometimes the danger comes from the infrastructure itself. At the time of the fire, there were no people in the car. Nevertheless, intense burning on the roadway creates a risk for passing drivers. In winter, distance and traction decide everything. Any overtaking maneuver here is a game on the edge. In winter, speed and weight work against the driver. Traffic in Hanoi is more like a constant stream of chaos where jams are the norm. For Hanoi, heavy traffic isn't an exception, but a daily reality. A car lost control and crashed into a street vegetable cart. Luckily, the vendor was unharmed. She didn't take a step and survived. Now she can celebrate a second birthday. He surely regrets not overtaking the garbage truck in time. When there are only a couple of meters between nothing happened and catastrophe. Icing makes not only highways, but also courtyards and parking lots dangerous. An attempt to escape a chase on an icy road ended predictably. The car spun out and everything went out of control.
Okay, looks like you crashed out. Here, crash out. Good.
A winter road is dangerous not only because of the slippery surface. When a vehicle loses control and turns sideways across the road, even oncoming cars end up in the danger zone. At some point, the road turned into an obstacle course. At night, the road doesn't forgive sudden decisions. Running across in front of a car risks not only your own life. Looks like the car will have to wait. The birds have their own rush hour right now. Unfortunately, not every load makes it to its destination. Sometimes it ends up right on the road. It's scary to even imagine what could have happened if a spark had reached this gas station. If the owner plans to keep driving this car, time is clearly working against him. The vehicle risks staying here for a long time. Incorrect parking often causes traffic delays and road accidents. It seems getting out of here without outside help is no longer possible. The car left the parking spot not at the owner's initiative. If a car is blocking the exit, it may unexpectedly change its parking spot, even without the owner's involvement. In a split second, a regular road situation on a snowy highway turns into a dangerous incident. An icy slope in the city quickly ceases to be a road. Here, any attempt to drive down looks more like sledding, with the risk of rollovers and falls. The city lives its usual life until the ground under the road suddenly disappears. One collapse, and a familiar route becomes a potential trap. Driving on a flooded road is dangerous, but when the water comes suddenly, there may be no other options. Not all road threats are connected to traffic. A stop at the intersection, and the crane arm drops right onto the roadway. Apparently, the road surfaces here weren't designed for such weight and simply gave way. A strong gust of wind and a massive tree falls right onto the car. It's a miracle no one was hurt. Looks like the car decided to take the fence along.
What a twist! Haven't you expected to see this either, have you?
In some corners of the world, winter roads bring not just stress, but lots of new impressions. This wheel finally broke free and set off on its own journey. A pipe burst turned into a real transport collapse. What was supposed to be just cargo turned into real projectiles in an instant, flying straight into traffic. When something goes wrong with a truck, it affects everyone around it. In moments like this, it feels like something invisible stepped in to help. There's no other explanation. No one was hurt, and that's what matters, but the overturned waste tanker reminded everyone of the incident with its smell for a full week. Snow blurs the line between control and a skid. That's all it takes for a truck to lose grip. At such speed, even the smallest miscalculation can be critical. This is what it looks like when the cost of a mistake is measured in more than just scratches. Separation while in motion, the worst-case scenario for a truck and everyone nearby. You have to wonder when the driver realized it wasn't just smoke and whether he knew what to do next. A frozen lake may look like a road until the ice begins to give way. The plan was just to pull out of the yard, but Winter had other ideas, and the road ended right at the gate. A rare case where a custom modification looks like a ready-made commercial product. Speed and ice, a bad combination. The result is predictable: loss of control. Snowdrifts like these are a serious test. Here, Winter challenges both the off-roader and the nerves of its driver. In heavy traffic like this, it's tough for everyone, but for a truck, staying in lane and changing lanes without consequences is twice as hard. When a trailer loses its connection with the truck, it immediately finds one with the first vehicle in its path. One pop and tons of mass become completely unpredictable. The oncoming lane wasn't a solution, it was the last chance, and it worked. This is why tailgating a dump truck is a bad idea. Everything that's not secured will eventually fly backward. Everything went by the worst scenario: a strong impact, a spin, and a completely uncontrolled vehicle trajectory. With a truck skidding like this, the fact that the car wasn't hit seems like a true miracle. Even small obstacles on the highway can disrupt traffic and cause dangerous situations. A multi-ton load of logs makes this route even harder to handle. Here, the driver entered a showdown with the elements, and a quick win is clearly out of the question. Distance is everything, and the cost of misjudging it here is too high. When a small car pulls out without enough lead time, the truck has no choice but to brake hard. Even at a stop, a bus driver can't afford to lose focus, or an accident becomes unavoidable. It takes forgetting just one tiny detail, like lowering the truck bed, for reality to strike back instantly.
There it goes. Oh my God.
An ordinary road situation can turn into a conflict in a second without warning. One person made a mistake, and everyone had to hit the brakes. A reaction that literally saves a life. The owner of a red sedan puts the car in reverse and backs into the SUV behind him. He doesn't yet know there's a dash cam recording. A brave woman didn't let the criminals steal her SUV, jumping onto the hood and clinging onto the windshield wipers. She was lucky they were just petty thieves and not hardened robbers willing to use violence.
Before watching similar videos, it would be great to buy some sedative pills. One needs nerves of steel here.
A pickup truck tries to cut off a passenger car, but the driver loses control and scrapes the side along a fence. A scammer tries to extort money by insisting the driver scratched her SUV. A small but crucial detail, his car has no scratches, and the damage on the black SUV is clearly old. Another failed scam, the driver of a red sports car reverses and touches the car behind, which has a dash cam running.
That was me. You roll back, bro. Yeah, I got a dash cam. Yeah.
A sketchy neighborhood where insurance scammers are easy to find, it's dark and there are almost no witnesses, ideal conditions for fraud. An actress without an Oscar yet, her accomplice is recording her lying on the pavement in front of the car, but the supposed collision was captured by a more reliable device, a dash cam. A black Ford pickup slams on the brakes several times trying to provoke a crash. It all ends badly for him. He draws police attention. A masked bandit jumps out of a car that pulled up from behind and tries to get inside, unaware the door is locked. The driver of a white BMW tries to prove that his car was rear-ended and didn't reverse into another. A dash cam is the best protection in such cases. Oof, that looks really painful. Well, let's hope her medical bills are low. A failed robbery attempt. The driver turned out to be more aggressive than the criminal. The driver of a black station wagon slams on the brakes to provoke a rear-end bump, and when that doesn't work, shifts into reverse. A failed attempt to cut off another car ends with the gray minivan parked in roadside bushes. And here's another Ford pickup, this time red. Apparently it's their signature move, trying to stage an accident without considering the dash cam. Not the best idea, trying to pull off a scam with so many witnesses around and a dash cam recording.
What a twist! Haven't you expected to see this either, have you?
A rather successful setup, except it turns out the dash cam recorded exactly who provoked the collision.
Yeah, we're gonna stay right here. We have a camera. We saw you hit us. You couldn't be up from over there. Don't give me that shit.
The driver in front continues to stay alert to road conditions even as he nears home. The thieves are left with nothing. A very reckless act, stealing a police SUV. Chances are it'll be quickly stripped for parts. Well, he's not much of a robber, but he sure can run. The car theft attempt failed. The SUV calmly drove away on its business. This mom single-handedly took down a potential car thief. Messing with her is a bad idea. A video filmed from a high-rise apartment balcony. A scammer throws himself in front of a slowly reversing car. The driver of a white Mini Coupe jumps into traffic where he shouldn't and repeatedly tries to provoke a truck by braking sharply in front of it. Eventually, the truck driver loses patience and rams the white car. A thief tries to break into a car under the cover of darkness. Imagine his surprise when the car's speaker system speaks to him. It's the owner watching through the security camera. The driver of a white SUV foils the criminal's plan to steal a car by blocking their exit.
To be honest, I'm speechless after witnessing it. What about you?
A completely failed setup. A black station wagon reversed but couldn't cause a collision because the car behind also backed away. A white sedan brakes for no reason at a green light. The driver, ready to start a confrontation, quickly backs off when he learns about the dash cam. This is becoming a trend. Kia vehicles are easy to recognize, which scammers of all kinds take advantage of. Another actor without an Oscar calmly walks forward, then stops and dramatically slides down the hood. Nice try, but the dashcam footage will crush that performance. When you realize just how stupid it looks from the outside, and don't even try to prove anything. The driver of a black sedan brakes sharply in front of a truck. Imagine his surprise when he realizes he'll be the one paying for the damage. A thief tries to steal a car but gets caught off guard by the returning owner. If you're going to try stealing a police car, be ready for lots of cops nearby. A gray sedan slips in front of a truck and intentionally keeps a short distance to provoke a collision on a turn. The scammer clearly didn't expect the truck to have such a short braking distance. The man in this episode is clearly experienced thanks to the high crime environment. Seeing he's about to be blocked in, he immediately steps on the gas without waiting for anyone to exit the white car. Yet another dumb setup, banking on the victim not having a dash cam. American police now have a new way to block stolen cars. It's much more effective than tire spikes and other traps.
There are things that are absolutely impossible to believe, and how could this even happen?
What was supposed to be a quick and easy theft turned into a complete failure. The thieves couldn't even start the car. Looks silly and overly staged, the driver didn't even bother to stop or argue with the scammers. And rightly so. In a deserted place, it's better not to take that risk. The criminal was lying in wait on the left, with witnesses ready to blame the worker who had just delivered the vehicle. However, they didn't consider that everything was being recorded. One more detail, the motorcycle was riding on the sidewalk, violating traffic rules. Such a scam attempt looks especially ridiculous when the victim's car stopped several meters before the supposed collision site. Bandits tried to steal a black pickup truck with a TRX sticker, but were scared off by the furious owner, who ran outside in just his underwear. The criminal was very confident until he realized he was being watched by cameras. The driver decided not to tempt fate and left the parking lot. The clumsy thief tried several times to break the window to steal the car, but failed miserably. So this is what unbeatable American quality looks like. A scooter rider staged a collision with a parked car. Apparently, he's unaware that in a real accident, he would be the one found at fault. The driver of a white Hyundai tried to teach the truck driver a lesson, but ended up learning one himself. He didn't realize that the truck's engine had enough power to drag his car along the pavement for several dozen meters. This scammer overlooked a key detail. He was driving in the oncoming lane, so no matter what happens, he'll be the one at fault. A thief tried to steal a car but ended up locked inside. The engines wouldn't start, the doors were blocked. All that was left to do was wait for the police. He wants to get hit by a car so badly that he literally chases after it. Put in more effort, more hustle. A white sedan suddenly swerves and cuts off the episode's main driver. The woman tries to assert her rights until she learns there was a dash cam recording the entire time. A robber tried to steal a car right at the car wash. The owner handled it honorably. The high-pressure hose turned out to be more effective than a gun. Oh, what a performance. What expression. The scammer's going to be very surprised when he sees the surveillance footage. Sometimes all it takes is one distraction on the road for drivers' focus to shift. This road looks more like a challenge than a regular route. It's so narrow that passing an oncoming car has no standard solution. Here, it takes improvisation. A blown tire on a fuel truck turned a regular road into a zone of zero visibility. One mistake quickly turned into a slide. Mass and speed no longer help here. For 7 months of the year, frost rules this area, and the best roads are frozen rivers. But once a crack appears in the ice, every meter becomes a trial. Transporting animals requires precise planning. Bridge height, speed, cargo securing, and road condition, everything matters. In such transports, the cost of a mistake is especially high because we're talking about living beings. Looks like the goose decided to race, though its energy didn't last long. Lost a trajectory, but not control. A rare case where such a dangerous situation ended without an accident.